And welcome back to Varsity Sports Now. Jay Elson, Jason, and Dara. And we've taken a look at what happened last week in South Dakota. Now it's time to do the same in North Dakota. We sum up the week that was with your Varsity Sports Now North Dakota Rewind. And we're going to start in AAA. Bismarck took care of business with a 44-12 romp over Dickinson. The Demons have had some trouble getting off to good starts this season. No such trouble last week, though. Bismarck piles up 5 first-half touchdowns, thanks in large part to the return of running back Ricky Galindo.
Fargo Davies, they've rubbed 2 wins together right now. They beat Red River last Friday night by junior quarterback Aiden Hartness's effort. He led the way with 164 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. They got the 47-27 win.
West Fargo also scored a second straight win, shutting down Grand Forks Central 32-6. And with that win, the Packers make their first appearance in our power rankings this week.
Fargo South, James Johannesson, he only rushed for 108 yards.
And that's an off night.
Measly amount and 3 touchdowns, but of course he just had 10 carries, and they just slipped past Fargo North 58-0.
Just got by them. In AA, the game of the night took place in Grafton. It was our HD game of the week. The Spoilers led most of the way, but Shanley rallied on the foot of Patrick Strom. The Deacons kicker connected on 3 fourth-quarter field goals to lead his team to a 33-30 come-from-behind win.
And we check in with our #1 team in Class A, the Hazen Bison. They jump all over New Salem Glen Ellen as Connor Dahl ran in 2 touchdowns, passed for another. Hazen breezes by 48-15.
That's a look back at the week that was in North Dakota high school football. Let's fast forward, take a look at some of the best games coming up this week. And you've got 4 of them on the board, Jason. How do you rank them?
Yeah, these are my top 4 games. You got Minot at Red River. This one could be interesting. Milner North Sergeant and Linton HMB. This is a game on the surface might not look very interesting, but Linton came up with a nice win on the road against, at home against Oaks, a ranked team. Milner North Sergeant has only lost 1 game this year, and that was to a AA team, so that could be very good. Then a battle of undefeateds in AA with Bishop Ryan and Watford City. We'll talk about that more in the Pick'em segment. But the game everybody's looking forward to is Bismarck traveling across the state to play Fargo South.
And for a preview of that Demons Bruins showdown, we turn to Tom Mix to the Forum of Fargo-Moorhead. And Tom, South's James Johannesson, awfully impressive in the box score. You've seen him in person. Is he just as good as those numbers would indicate?
He is as advertised. Very good running back. He is a north to south runner, but he can also get on the outside and make some dynamic plays catching the ball. But, yeah, you said it, 854 yards, 213 yards per game so far this year. He's always a threat to score touchdowns as well. He's a self-dynamic guy in the backfield, and he'll definitely have to be a big part of it on Friday for them to do well against Bismarck.
Now, aside from Johannesson, which we know he's very good, what makes this Bruins team so good?
I really think that it starts with the offensive line with the Bruins. 4 out of their 5 starters are back. They get a lot of big push-up front. That helps James Johannesson do what he does. And then when James Johannesson is doing what he does, it helps Zach Kellen get the passing game going. So I really think the first domino that falls in a game is that offensive line, and then from there, everything else falls from there for the Bruins. So I really do think that the key part of their success so far this year has been the offensive line with all that experience that they returned from a year ago.
Now, Tom, you've followed Fargo South. You've watched some of their games. You've done a couple features on them. Is there anything else about this team that we might not know about?
Well, another player that I really do think that has dynamic play ability is Ty Brooks. He's the other running back in the backfield. He gets a few carries a game, and he seems to really make those carries count. He seems to have a nose for the end zone no matter where he is on the field. He lines up at wide receiver, too. He's one of these guys that's just a versatile player for South. And he also plays defensive back, and he's probably one of the best defensive backs in the state. But he has the ability to make big plays on both sides of the ball. And that could come into play on Friday night if by somehow they get a big play on special teams or on defense. The Bruins might put Bismarck on the ropes and maybe have to ride that out. And who knows, if they can get some big plays from Ty Brooks, I like their chances.
All right, Tom, we're going to put you on the spot. How do you see this game playing out on Friday?
I do see this being a very close game, but I do think that Bismarck might edge the Bruins just because they have that winning streak going, and I just don't know if South can come back and make a game of it late. It'll come down to the fourth quarter, and I do think that the Demons know how to close those fourth quarters out. Even if they're on the ropes, they're going to find a way to win this game, I think.
Again, Tom Mix of the Forum of Fargo-Moorhead. He is lucky enough that he gets to be at that game. I have to admit, I'm a little jealous of that.
Yeah, this is one I want to see. Bismarck, the Demons, obviously the top team in North Dakota over the last 6-7 years. Fargo South has been down for a couple years, but before that, they were right there with Bismarck, making the Dakota Bowl almost every year. I think we've seen a return to the top team in the East against the top team in the West. This could be a preview of a game we see deep into the playoffs.
This certainly could. A couple of traditional powers in North Dakota, no doubt. All right, well, our cameras caught a ton of big plays last week, but only a select few would earn Jandy's coveted stamp of approval. Find out if this one made the cut right after this.